The following is a presentation of 4-Star Sports Media. Welcome to the Germantown Village Wine and Liquor Studios. Germantown Village Wine and Liquor. They have single barrel whiskeys you can only find in their stores. Go by and see Stephen Plunk and tell him 4-Star sent you. Now, it's time to get to the point with your hosts, Wes Pruitt and Brandon Bumgarner.
Welcome, Memphis fans, to the point. It is Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Got my boy Big Bad Bumgarner in the house with us as always. Welcome to the point. Yes, Bumgarner. I'm glad everyone can hear me again. It makes me happy that our fans can hear me. Brandon, it has been an exciting week for Memphis athletics. We're going to jump into it here in just a minute. Brandon, you were at the game this past Sunday against number 14, then number 14th ranked Houston Cougars. Before we get into it, Brandon, give me just a rough synopsis of the atmosphere in FedEx Forum this past Sunday.
It was the best atmosphere that I've been in 8 years. I think that dates back all the way to when we beat Louisville in March of 2000. It might have been late March, early March. Yeah, it was early March, I think, of 2014. So I was a senior in high school. To hear nearly 18,000 people cheering for the same team, just going crazy. It was absolutely incredible. There's no excuse that Memphis shouldn't be able to do that every week, week in and week out. But you know what? You're finally playing for something. You're playing for a chance to make it in the NCAA tournament. In my eyes, I think they have made it into the NCAA tournament. I listened to Penny Hardaway's press conference earlier, and Jalen Duren. We'll talk about him, I'm sure, in a minute. But they both said the exact same thing. In their eyes, they think that we have played our way into the NCAA tournament, and it's go time, man. It's time for us to get this thing rolling. And they're getting hot at the right time. Everybody's playing the right way. If we can limit our turnovers, I honestly think this team can make a crazy run. But as far as atmosphere-wise, it was the best atmosphere I'd been in college basketball since that 2014 season.
Yeah, I tell you, man, watching it on TV, of course, CBS, 11 a.m. tip. You had two guys that are just incredible, Bill Raftery and Jim Nance, two guys that Brandon had a chance to talk to today, or not talk to, but listen to today on the NCAA tournament media call, and we'll get into that when we get into the Pick'em show in the next hour. But Brandon, let's go ahead and get into this Tigers-Houston game. 11 a.m. tip. Tigers came away with a 75-61 victory over the then Houston 14th ranked Houston Cougars. Brandon, you get the sweep on Houston this year. You beat them at their place where they were ranked number 6 in the country. And then you come to the friendly confines of FedEx Forum and knock them off in really exploding fashion. And Brandon, that game to me was never in doubt. From the opening tip-off, Memphis was the better basketball team in all phases of the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man, it was unmatched. We came out hot. Landers Nolly was on fire to start the game. Tyler Harris got in there, made some explosive shots. That behind the back pass to from Alex Lomax to Tyler was how that game went for Houston. They didn't have a shot after the ball was tipped. I mean, it was loud. It was like we've already talked about the atmosphere. It was the loudest I had heard that arena in a long, long time. I'm not going to say ever, but in a long, long time, especially in the Penny Hardaway era. And then you go, you get up 20, and that place is just going absolutely berserk. Everybody's gelling. They're all doing their own thing. You got guys like Josh Minot coming off the bench when you're up 20, just putting dunks down, getting the crowd fired up. Man, it was just really, really cool to be around, to be a part of. But yeah, they're playing their best basketball at this point of the year, and that is it. One, it's the most important time of the year to do so. And if you go down to Fort Worth on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can pull out a conference championship. I really think that Memphis is going to be rolling at the right time. They already are. I mean, I think I've read we've won 14 out of our last 15, which is just at this point, yes. I mean, you were sitting at 10-9 at one point this year, and now you're sitting at, I believe it's 19-9, and I mean, you're playing, like I said, your best basketball. You keep that going. Mo is our friend, as I like to say, old momentum. He's our best friend. Keep that momentum going into the tournament, this conference tournament, the NCAA tournament. The sky's the limit at this point.
Oh, most definitely, man. I mean, we talked about it a few weeks ago. You always want to hang out with Mo, especially this time of year. If you and Mo are hanging out this time of year, that's a good thing. And Brandon, talking about this time of year being March Madness, we've already seen it in conference tournaments that have already began. There's some wild stuff going on, and when you look at this time of year and you look at a team like Memphis coming in at 19-9 into their conference tournament, which actually begins tomorrow, I believe.
Yes.
But Memphis is hot. Memphis is hitting on all cylinders at the right time. This is a team, Brandon, that if and this is just my opinion, you can criticize me if you want, but if I'm a 4 or 5 seed or above, I'm not too really concerned about Memphis. But if I'm a 5 seed or lower, I'm concerned about playing the Memphis Tigers anytime during that tournament. And I will take my chances as a Memphis fan with the way this team is playing right now, team and staff. I'll take my chances in a one-game scenario against a top 4 team.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard, but I watched the Florida-Kentucky game. I believe it was Saturday. And Clark Kellogg, I mean, this guy's been around basketball forever. He's as old as a dinosaur. No offense to Clark Kellogg. He's just he'll forget more about the game than I'll ever know. But when this guy, during the middle of the Kentucky broadcast, they were talking about sleeper teams in March. He said, "I don't care who you are. Memphis is the one team that you do not want to see when it comes to this tournament. And I don't care if you're a 1 through 5 seed. I think that Memphis comes out. If Memphis gets an 8 seed on Sunday during the selection show, whoever they play in the first round, that's who you need to be focused on. Absolutely. But that 1 seed, once they get past that 16 seed, if they're playing Memphis, they have to be concerned. Top to bottom, this team is awesome. They're playing the way that we thought they were going to play all year. They finally got to this point, and it's time to put up or shut up right now for the Memphis Tigers.
I completely agree. We got Zach is going to pop in and ask a question real quick. What you got, Zach?
What's up, guys? Hey, well, I agree with some of the stuff. I've got to ask though. A couple of weeks ago, you were really, 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 really critical of Penny Hardaway. Do you still stand?
I'm still critical of Penny. Penny is the CEO of this program, but Penny has shut me up when it was time to shut me up.
Do you think if he wins on Friday, let me ask you this. If he wins on Friday, does that keep his seat a little bit cooler going into the next season?
It was never hot to begin with. Memphis can't afford to fire Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway can only walk away from Memphis. And in my defense, I never once said I want Penny Hardaway fired. I said, I think it's time for him to step down or move on. Never once did me saying, and this, I'm not getting mad at you, Zach. I'm saying this in general because people on Twitter have been attacking me and stuff like that. And I mean, I even saw people after the game on Sunday. Well, you wanted Penny fired. No, the words fire Penny Hardaway never came out of my mouth. I questioned, just like many other media members in this city have questioned if this was the job for him. He has proven to me in the last month and a half that he can get the job done here. Now, it's time to take it to the next level. Now, if you lose in the first round of the NCAA tournament, or hell, even Friday, then yes, I'm going to be critical. Am I going to sit here and tell you he needs to go? No. My mind has changed on that. I think Penny's proven enough to me, especially with winning the 2 games against Houston, that he can get the job done here. I mean, I've talked about it all year. Houston's one hell of a team. Kelvin Sampson's one hell of a coach. But if you lose Friday, and I'm talking you play UCF, say they get past South Florida, you play UCF and they just come out and mollywop you, then I'm going to have some questions. But I fully don't expect that to happen. I fully expect Memphis to go in there, get hot, win that game Friday, go in Saturday, play SMU or Wichita State, and get a dub there, and then you play Houston again on Sunday.
So real quick, Andy Katz has got y'all at a 9 seed in the South region. Some of the other 9 seeds are Iowa State, San Fran, and Michigan.
I don't think Michigan will make the tournament. I think Michigan's going to get bounced in the Big Ten tournament, and they're going to be stuck.
In my estimation, and this is just my opinion, I think a 9, an 8 to 9 is right where we should be. I mean, when you look at the season that we've had, obviously, that loss to Ole Miss hurts. I mean, and not that that's a quad anything win when you look at Ole Miss's season, but beating Houston twice, especially at Houston, is huge. That's big for us. Beating Alabama like we did earlier in the season is big for us. I mean, in all honesty, Brandon, that Wichita State game earlier in the year was a pretty big win for us at the time.
I think the thing that hurts you most, and I'm not going to say it's a loss, I think it's getting that Tennessee game canceled when you had an opportunity at another quad 1 win.
That hurt big time. I agree.
And Tennessee never wanted to reschedule that matchup, and we couldn't find anybody to add to the schedule. And Penny tried. He said it multiple times. I'm trying to get somebody on the schedule. He was just never able to do it. But it doesn't matter at this point. You're in right now.
This is true.
So, I mean, I think it's time. I think it's time for this team to get their stuff together. We know we can beat good teams. We've done it already this year. I think we're a completely different team than what we were at the end of in December, and then when we went our little 4-game skid, I believe it was the end of January. Mm-hmm. I think we're a better team than the team that lost to SMU twice. I think it's go time, man. I really think, and my expectation, and I've said it on the show, my expectation going into this year was to at least make the second weekend of the tournament. That is still my expectation right now. I think they are a second weekend team, and if we lose to a 1 seed, I can live with that in the second round of the NCAA tournament. But right now, where I sit, I will tell you that I think Memphis is a second weekend team in the NCAA tournament.
I agree. I completely. You are listening to The Point. I am Wes Pruitt. Got Big Bad Brandon Bumgarner in the house with us. You are inside the Germantown Village Wine and Liquor Studio. For more, go by and see them 7730 Poplar Avenue or give them a call 901-737-3174. Stephen Plunk and company will get you taken care of. It's a beautiful place there on Germantown Parkway. Or I'm sorry, on Poplar Avenue. But Germantown Village Wine and Liquor, go by and see them. They've got some single barrel whiskeys you can only purchase in their store. They will get you taken care of, and tell them that The Point and Brandon and Wes sent you by, and they may give you a little something extra. Brandon, real quick, before we move on to the Lady Tigers, I want to do a report card, and we're going to do the same thing with the Lady Tigers as well. I want to give a regular season report card for the staff and then also for the team. Brandon, I'll let you go first.
Okay, so as far as staff, I mean, Zach already brought it up. Yes, I was very critical of Penny, but he's matured as a coach. We've seen Larry Brown kind of take that extra step of being like a mentor to Penny. We've also seen Cody Topper grow as an assistant coach as well. Those guys are more involved now in the game than they were, I think, at the beginning of the year. And Penny even said today in his press conference, we had to sit down, have some conversations between the three of us, and I think they've kind of got that okay, or got that like kind of sat right now. But right now, if I had to give a staff a grade, it'd probably be a B minus. There's definitely room for improvement, but there's always potential to make it a better grade at this point of the year. You can make it. You can turn a B minus into an A very easily. And what was the second part? Was the team?
Yeah, team.
I can't really give them an accurate letter grade because of the injuries that they were having to deal with, and this is also part on Penny. Like, it's not on Penny that these guys got hurt. Injuries just happen. And I think I was of the impression that top to bottom, this team shouldn't lose to anybody. My expectation wasn't realistic to Penny or to just fans in general, and to myself. Because when guys get hurt, I mean, you lose valuable pieces. Alo got hurt at one point. Landers Nolly was dealing with a knee injury. DeAndre Williams dealt with a back injury. I mean, Jaden Hardaway's been out of the rotation. I mean, everybody on this team, I think, except for like Tyler Harris, has been hurt this year at some capacity. So I really think that an accurate grade for the team right now would be a B plus in my eyes. Just when we're talking about them all being healthy, not when we're talking about them being hurt and everything like that. So take the games where this team was healthy. You go right there, B plus. Take the games where this team wasn't healthy. I'm giving them a D because they underproceeded the expectations of what they were supposed to meet, but also take into account players were hurt, guys didn't play, you lost Amani Bates. Yeah, it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss with that letter grade. So yes, I will give them a B plus right now if the season ended today. But luckily, the season does not end today, so we can turn it into an A plus.
Very true. Very true. I agree with you 100% on the team. B plus, B minus is about where I'm at with this team, and I honestly, it all revolves around our health. If we are healthy, this team is dangerous to play. When it comes to the staff, I'm gonna give the staff an A minus, and this is the reason why. You look at all the turmoil that's gone on with just with the staff in general this year. You had Rasheed Wallace, then we didn't have Rasheed, and then Rasheed was kind of still there, and then he's gone, and then we had Jermaine Johnson, but then we didn't have Jermaine Johnson, and then now Jermaine Johnson's back. But when I give this staff an A, they mentioned it Saturday on the game. Penny Hardaway said, this is a quote from Penny. Take it for what it's worth. He said, when Larry Brown walked in the door, I came a better basketball coach. I think Penny has learned that you don't bring a guy in like that and not let him work with you as a basketball coach and let him teach you how to coach at a very, very high level kids. I think there's a difference from being a coach and just having, quote, average players, but you have to be a high-level coach to have the type of talent that this Memphis team has on it. For the staff, I'm going to give them an A minus. But I agree. I think there's always room for improvement, and I think that A minus can become an A plus and an A plus plus quite quickly, very quickly. Brandon, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Lady Tigers basketball season, and then we'll finish up the show with some Memphis Grizzlies talks right here on The Point, presented to you by 4-Star Sports Media.
Hey fans, did you know that 4-Star Sports Media now has a YouTube channel? You can catch exclusive content covering all things Memphis Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Shows like The Point, and the only show on social media about the Arkansas Razorbacks that is purely fan-driven inside the Hog Pen. Plus other shows like The Hog Trough, The 4-Star Sports Show, and many more coming soon. So check them out today. Go on YouTube.com and search 4-Star Sports Media.
Welcome back to The Point. I am Wes Pruitt. Got Big Bad Brandon Bumgarner in the house. With me is still here, still in the house. Thank you to everybody watching right now on Facebook, 4-Star Sports Media, and The Point Podcast. Also on our YouTube channel, 4-Star Sports Media. And thank you to everybody listening. Will be listening on 4star.live. Go to our website, check out our content. We try to stay as consistent as we can. Brandon, let's talk a little bit about the Lady Tigers. Head coach Katrina Merriweather has done and her staff have done an incredible job this season with this team. We got a loss last night to finish up our regular season, but Brandon, in the conference tournament on Monday night, they knocked off East Carolina 59-48, and then yesterday lost to the number 2 seed in the tournament, South Florida, by 10 to finish with a record of 16-12 on the season. And I mean, I'll just call a spade a spade. When you look at previous Memphis Tiger women's basketball, when's the last time you've seen a winning record, Brandon?
I think it was 2015 or 16, if I'm correct. They made the women's NIT and believe they were eliminated in the first round. But Coach Merriweather has just shown this year that she's the woman for the job here. And I'm very proud to have her as our head coach for the women's program. I'm really excited for the future of this program. I think they're going to do a great job. And, man, what can I say? Coming here your first year with you, I'm not going to lie, you didn't have a ton of talent. And you had a winning season. You had a pretty good record. I don't think they're going to make any postseason tournaments this year, unfortunately. But next year is just another year for improvement, and you get bigger and better every single year after that. So props to Coach Merriweather and her staff. They have done just a great job with what they could here this first season, and the sky's the limit for that program as well. I really think our women's team is going to take off and show off. And I think within the next year or so, you're going to be talking about them being true contenders for the American Athletic Conference Championship.
I completely agree. Brandon, let's give our report card for the women's team. I'll go first. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm gonna give both of them an A plus, and I know that's a bold statement considering we got beaten the second round of the conference tournament.
Yes, but you did play against a team that was ranked most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You took them to, I know they won by 10, but you took them to the last, I think it was 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-possession ball game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I stand with you on that, man. Yes, there's always room for improvement in my eyes. So I will give them an A minus. But to think about what Coach Merriweather did her first season here as the Memphis head basketball coach, I will give her an A minus right there with the team. They're only going to get better, Wes. They're only going to get better. And next year, I fully expect people to start making time to go to women's games. I went to one game this year, had a lot of fun. Wish I would have went to more. We got to get people out to that. I mean, they've redone the entire field house on campus.
They say it's beautiful.
Beautiful facility now. Still has that old time vibe to it because you're on top of the action.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed my time out there that I got to go to this year, and really excited for next season with our Lady Tigers.
Most definitely. I mean, think about it, Brandon. In your first year, you come into Memphis, coming from Wright State. You come to Memphis and you win 16 games in your first season with essentially nobody of your own. Then you get
she
a
had
chance
a couple transfers on the team, but
yeah,
yes,
I mean,
I agree.
And then you get a chance to not only see what you've got right now and improve the current team you have, but be able to start building a culture in your first season of a winning culture and be able to recruit to that winning culture and bring them in and say, hey, we're winning ball games on this court. You know, we're the University of Memphis. You can go play at the FedEx Forum. You know what I mean? This is a nice Elmer Fieldhouse is a nice field house to play women's basketball games in, or any basketball game for that matter. But it's just really.
Wes, side note, I would love to see the men's team play a game at the field house. I think that atmosphere would be incredible.
Yes.
Just do it once a year, and you don't even have to have a big opponent there. Just do it against I don't know,
Rhodes.
Well, you could do an exhibition game there, or you could do a regular season game there against I don't know, Jackson State or Alabama A&M, or hell, even a conference opponent against East Carolina, or somebody that's not too good, but not a terrible team. You know,
you can play Tulane there. No, God, no.
Yeah,
God, no. Get off the screen.
We play Arkansas.
Get off the
screen. Game to be at FedEx Forum.
Yeah, man.
Our head coach is the one who put Arkansas out of the NCAA tournament last year. Just let me remind you that, Zach. Arkansas was eliminated by Wright State, who was coached by Katrina Merriweather. So don't bring that Arkansas nonsense in here.
Hey, that's for the next show.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting confused. My bad.
This is all things Memphis. This is Memphis.
Y'all are at the point. I'm in the summit. I'm in the valley. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong one.
Yeah. But Brandon, when you look at this Lady Tigers basketball program as a whole, they are on the rise. They're getting better. They're only going to get better. I'm really excited about them, man. I'm really excited about their future. It's really nice to see some hype around the women's basketball program, and their videos that they do are incredible, man. I love them.
It's nice to have a coaching staff who understands Memphis now.
Very true.
You didn't have that for a very long time. Melissa McFerrin didn't know what she was doing here. She was just given a job, and she kind of ran with it. Now, granted, she was horrible at that job, but Coach Merriweather understands the culture of Memphis. She understands that what a winning program means to Memphis. And let me remind people, our women's team is not a pushover program. They had been very, very good for a very long time until Melissa McFerrin got here.
Yes. They made some NCAA tournament, I want to say, run. Well, we went to the Sweet 16 a few times, actually, when Joy Lee McNillis was there. And then the coach right after her was a good coach too. Brandon, let's jump over to a team that, man, it's just a lot of fun to watch. They are 45-22 right now on the season. And of course, I'm talking about the number 2, or last I checked, number 2 ranked in the NBA Memphis Grizzlies. They absolutely ran New Orleans off the FedEx Forum gym last night with a 132-111 victory. Man, Brandon, let's just talk about this. Ja Morant's Ja Morant, right? I mean, we all agree, right? But let me tell you something, man. Desmond Bane is my guy. I love Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain is what you want out of your typical Memphian that plays basketball.
22 last
Hard-nosed,
night. Had a
grit,
great game.
great shooter, great defender.
Yes.
Does whatever he can to win a basketball game. Desmond Bain is your guy if you want him on your team.
Melton had a nice game last night. I'll tell you what, man. I really didn't follow him a whole lot, in college and stuff. But that kid is a baller. He really is.
Yes, DeAnthony Melton, if his shots fall, he's a completely different player than what people think he is. You also have to give credit to guys like Tyus Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I saw somebody today call I saw somebody today call John Morant a system point guard, and it really pissed me. A system point guard means he's built for the system that Taylor Jenkins runs.
I mean, I understand what that means. I was saying what, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
what?
Like, what? Exactly. Yeah.
What? Yeah, but what a BS comment to make about a kid who's a perennial going to be a perennial MVP candidate, is already NBA All-Star in his third year, has the second most views on social media out of any player in the league next to LeBron James, has the third highest jersey sale in the NBA right now behind LeBron James and James Harden, and two MVPs and two future Hall of Famers, and today was named the favorite to be on the cover of NBA 2K23.
That's just, oh. I mean, but see, all right, just a caveat off that real quick. I'm sorry. You got to buy one and keep it in the plastic, and then you got to buy one to play. You know what I mean?
Yes,
that's a big deal.
I will if he is the cover athlete of NBA 2K23, I will be at GameStop once the game is like already out and everything. I will be begging them to have their stanchions and stuff like that that they keep in store, because that's the type of stuff that I want as a collector's item. Marc Gasol and Pau Gasol were on cover. They were cover athletes in Spain. I don't know. Were they on the cover together one year? I don't know. There's never been a Memphis Grizzly that was on the cover of a video game in America.
There's never been a Memphis player be on the cover of a video game
by himself. Marc Gasol and Pau Gasol had been on in Spain, like I said. I don't remember if they were on it in America.
In the States that I know of, there's never been a Memphis player, period, be on the cover of any video game. Any.
Yes. But it's unfathomable at this point, like what this guy not only means to this franchise, but means to this city now.
Mm-hmm.
Ja Morant is a Memphian, and he's only been here 3 years. In my eyes, it takes a little bit longer than 3 years to become a Memphian. But this guy has done everything necessary and possible to become just the guy. Penny Hardaway has been the guy for so long, and he still is. We talked about it. He had been the guy for so long. But Ja Morant, he's getting close, dude. If he makes an NBA Finals, if he keeps making all these All-Star games, and if he stays healthy, Ja Morant might be the greatest basketball player Memphis has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He's already in the conversation, no doubt about it. And I'm talking high school, college, NBA level. He might be the greatest basketball player to ever play in the city of Memphis.
I think he's definitely climbing the ladder. Of course, you're going to have obviously somebody's going to dispute.
See, I didn't get to see Penny play, so I don't have a great opinion on that.
Penny was sick,
what
man.
Penny was and what Penny is.
Oh.
But Ja's drawing comparisons to Allen Iverson, who might be one of the greatest players of all time. Shaquille O'Neal compared him to Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson and Penny Hardaway the other night on TNT. I mean,
all three of those
you don't get
pretty
those
close.
comparisons for nothing.
Right. Especially from Shaq.
Yeah, I mean, that's a guy who knows ball.
Yeah, well, he also knows Kobe about as well as anybody. Knew
Penny.
Kobe. Yeah, very true. And Penny as well. But, Brandon, when you look at this, of course, they got the big win last night. We talked about this schedule right after the All-Star break. It's very favorable for the Memphis Grizzlies. Their next 6 games are against teams with not very good records. And then you jump in, you got the Nets, then you got the Bucks, Warriors, Spurs to end the month. So, Brandon,
Yes.
when you look at this month, we've got to continue playing well because we know at the end of the month, it's loaded. It's a stat.
That Warriors game is going to come down to a lot. Right now, you're the 2 seed. If you keep that and you beat the Warriors, you're probably going to be the 2 seed in the NBA playoffs, unless there's just a colossal collapse by us or the Suns or the Warriors. I don't see that happening right now. I think this Grizzlies team is absolutely 100% going to they're going to end up the 2 seed in my eyes. If you asked me that before the season, I would have laughed. I would have been like, yeah, they'll fight for the play-in tournament again.
That's exactly what we said preseason.
But
yeah.
I believe that's what I said. The 7 seed should be your ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, in the words of Michael Jordan, the ceiling is the roof. So there's not really a roof right now, and the Grizzlies have absolutely exceeded that expectation. So
most definitely.
They're going to keep it rolling, man. Like you said, our schedule favors us right now. You got some tough games sprinkled in there, and I know we're coming off of a loss to the Rockets. But I think that not coming off of it, but we did come off of a loss to the Rockets up until yesterday. But I really think that was an eye-opening loss for the Grizzlies. I think they got a little too laxed in that game. I think their defense wasn't very good. I mean, mind you, the Grizzlies have one of the best defenses in the league. They came back home against the Pelicans, and they were like, look, we're pissed off of losing to you guys. We're going to go out here and actually just clobber you. C.J. McCollum did all he could do last night to try to beat the Grizzlies, and Desmond Bane and John Morant were just too much for him and that team. Yeah, man. Once we get to the NBA playoffs, you're going to hear a lot of trash talk out of me because the Grizzlies are a true contender right now.
Oh, no doubt. And we talk about the schedule. The end of the month's tough, and then the entire month of April is just kind of a murderer's row for the Grizzlies. But when you look at you just talked about it, we talked about it last year in the playoffs.
I like the murderer's row type
I do too.
schedule.
That's what I was just getting ready to say.
It challenges you to get ready for the playoffs, and if you're beating teams like that, guess who your best friend is? Old Mo Minham.
Yep. Hanging out with Mo again. That's 2 teams in the city of Memphis that are hot in March and hanging out with Mo. And anytime you can hang out with Mo in March, it's a good thing. Always, always, always when it comes to basketball. But Brandon, once again, man, we say it every week. It's always fun to be a Memphis fan, no matter what you're rooting for, what sport, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, soccer, wrestling for that matter. Booker T was in Memphis this past weekend for a wrestling event. Yes, man. Dustin Starr and those guys over there at Memphis Championship Wrestling are bringing in some dynamite guys.
Shout out to 901 FC who has their first game on Saturday.
Yes, shout out to Pete Pranica and also Tim Van Horn, who will be doing the broadcasting as well on that. But yeah, Memphis Championship Wrestling's doing great things over there. Had Nyla Rose recently. Got Evil Uno coming over from AEW coming up in the next week or so as well. So a lot of things happening sporting wise in the city of Memphis. But man, Brandon, it's been another great show. I'm glad that my microphone is back working. It makes me happy. And everyone, stay tuned because at 7:00 we're going to be live for our college pick'em show. Go ahead.
Uh-oh. Here comes Mr.
Y'all are talking about Memphis Championship Wrestling. Now would be a good time to plug our brand new show debuting next week. It's the Falls Count Anywhere podcast. It's me, it's Bum, it's MC, and we're talking AEW, WWE, boxing, and the UFC. 7 o'clock on 4-Star Sports Radio Network.
Yeah, gonna be a good time. We are branching out here at 4-Star Sports Media. But once again, man, thank you to everybody watching and listening tonight. It's been a lot of fun being back behind the microphone and the microphone actually working. It's very nice. So for Brandon Bumgarner, I am Wes Pruitt. We are out, and as always, go Tigers.
Go Grizz, go Tigers.